Oh, hey, Shadows Flicker like Flame. What's going on? Me. What's that? The other spirits are playing games without you? Well, that's okay, because today on Cardboard Cutouts, we're going to be telling everyone at home 3 great ways that they can play with themselves.
So the first game that I'm going to recommend that you check out solo is the game that really drug me into solo gaming, like kicking and screaming, and that is Terraforming Mars. And it's the perfect solo game because it doesn't have you managing multiple dummy players or anything. I hate that. Even in 2-player games, if you have to manage a dummy third player, I'm looking at you, Seven Wonders. I don't ever want to have to do that. I don't like pretending that I'm someone else. Blech, not for me. But Terraforming Mars is great because it has you playing just against the board itself. It gives you a clock of a certain number of turns and then says, hey, you know what? Go hog wild. You are responsible for terraforming this entire planet yourself. And at first, you are terrified because it seems like you are going incredibly slow. And yeah, you will be, but turn after turn, you start building your engine. You have absolute freedom in order to cultivate the perfect terraforming monstrosity without the burdens of other players coming in and messing up your streamlined awesomeness. And you just have this monumental task ahead of you, and the clock is ticking, and it's thrilling as you are desperately trying to do everything that you can in order to terraform that planet. And yeah, it does strip away some of the point value stuff. You're not going to be putting down milestones and awards or achievements or anything. No, it is all about, can you terraform in the time allotted to you? And then if you want to set like how many points you actually achieve during that time to get kind of like a benchmark or bonus score, great. But odds are you're not going to be terraforming that planet on your own for a long time. So get some practice in. It is a thrilling entry point to solo gaming. The second game I'm going to recommend is the game that inspired this whole video. Yeah, those lovable puppets know what's going on because Spirit Island is a killer solo game. See, you have the island structure of Spirit Island that is equal to the number of players. Well, that's a brilliant idea because everything scales so beautifully. So at one player, you have one little island chunk and you are responsible for taking care of that. And yeah, a lot of the fun of Spirit Island is seeing the synergies between spirits, but in this, you can just see what are the strengths and true weaknesses of any of the given spirits and seeing if they can stand on their own. Or if you're tempted, even as I might be tempted, even though I said I don't normally like it, you can manage multiple dummy players and work in concert with one another because the hands themselves feel inherently cooperative because it's a cooperative game. You don't feel like you're having to really go out of your way to take care of multiple spirits. I typically steer towards one spirit and one spirit only, but the temptation is there. And unlike Terraforming Mars, where it has to take this overall competitive structure and fundamentally change it in an awesome way, but still changing it into this cooperative game, Spirit Island is built for it. You are still getting what is essentially the core Spirit Island experience in a solo game. And that's why it's the only game that I would, out of the gate, unequivocally recommend and say, you know what? If all you're going to be doing is playing solo gaming with this, totally go for it. It's a great game and totally worth it. You are not cheating yourself any bit of Spirit Island by playing solo. Now, the last game that I'm going to recommend, this is the exception to the rule. I always play with multiple investigators during Elder Sign. Now, there's some reasons for this. One, Elder Sign is a fantastic dice game, and it is just the consolidated awesomeness of all of those HP Lovecraft games into a tiny portable dicey shell that somehow feels like it's somehow more strategic and like you have more agency than its Eldritch Horror and Arkham Horror big brothers and sisters. But the thing about the game is that, again, it's cooperative, and all of the cards that you're managing for multiple investigators, they're streamlined. There's not a ton of different unique effects. They're just different thematic representations of things, and it becomes very easy to just manage everything on the table, more like you have a roster of characters with certain loadouts on them, a la a video game RPG or something, than it is having actual multiple hands and you're acting as though you were multiple players. And while I like playing this game multiplayer, the fact that you can play it single player with 2 investigators and just crank through, it is thrilling and fun. And I never thought that I would be having a ton of fun playing a solo game with dice, but because there's so many ways that you can mitigate your probabilities and luck, and you have choices with what you can do with your dice and how you're going to approach certain situations, it feels inherently strategic and like you're getting cool decisions to make based off of what you roll, regardless of other people waiting in suspense at those dice, which is a lot of the fun of multiplayer dice games, is everyone with bated breath seeing if you got the perfect roll. You still have that here, and because it's so convenient to handle multiple investigators and all the information is really streamlined and easy to interpret and collect together, I totally dig it as a solo game, even playing 2, 3, or even 4 investigators. I definitely wouldn't go higher than that, and I definitely wouldn't go lower than 2, with 2 being my favorite count. All right, so that's it. That's our recommendation for 3 great ways that you can play with yourself. And if you have some favorite ways of playing with yourself and board games, then please let us know in the comments below. Start a discussion about it. Give people some of your own recommendations. And if you like this recommendation series of cardboard cutouts, then let us know too, and throw us a like and subscribe. We'd sure appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I've been Jack for the Cardboard Herald. If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcasts, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.